From Senegal to Sugar Hill, trace the bloodline. 100 years of brilliance through the color line. They thought the shackles broke but kept the mental chain. Langston penned the future while they legislated pain. Harlem's ballrooms birthed the cosmos in mahogany, while lynching trees still decorated southern botany. Josephine, Waker's pearls, and Garvey's Navy ships. Du Bois debating destiny with scholarship on his lips. The Renaissance was a renaissance of West resistance, fam. Every trumpet blast from Armstrong was a battering ram. They gave us minstrel shows, we gave them Sora Neal. Turned depression into art, made the fabricated real. Cotton Club excluded us from tables that we set. To form the Deanest Nightly, never free from the debt. But Bessie Smith could shatter glass, shatter cash, shatter lies. Every note she sang contained a revolution in the sky. Build temples from the rubble, make cathedrals from the struggle. Turn the margins to the center, now they study what we scribble. We build temples from the rubble, every generation double the inheritance of genius that they tried to keep us from. Fast forward through the decades, watch the pattern reassemble. Malcolm's speeches, Martin's marches, every voice begins to tremble to the earth until the structure shows its fractures. FBI was tracking every coon with every pastor, every actor. 40 acres never came but 40 minutes on a stage. To reconvene your consciousness and channelize the rage. From bebop to hip-hop, the fool lines mathematical. Each generation weaponized the beautiful, the radical. They gave us Reagan out as crack and mass incarceration. We gave them Public Enemy and blueprints for liberation. The Harlem Renaissance never ended, just evolved its form. Every freestyle cipher is a brainstorm, is a storm. Where the children of the talented, the tenth that the was prophesied, inherit the fire that the water couldn't wash aside. They tried to write us out the narrative. We offered all on text, 100 years of proof, and that we're destined. Where was next? Temples from the rubble, made cathedrals from the struggle. Turned the largest to the center, now they study what we scribble. We built temples from the rubble, every generation double the inheritance of genius that they tried to keep us from.
All right. You already know, man, this is, and you are Under the Groove. Welcome, everybody, to Under the Groove Podcast. Hey, man, prosperous Wednesday, all right? May each and every one of you be prosperous in this day, man. You're getting it done, all right? Let me put it like that. Here I am, and there you are. It's a beautiful thing, man. We're going to touch bases with the people. We're going to focus on the focus, all right? There's a whole lot to discuss today. And some of that, just a little bit of it, may concern this get down right here, man. Under the Groove Podcast and the RGC, or anyone who says they're part of this. You know what I mean? There's one thing about this, man. When I got into this get down, man, I told myself it would not be about, or not, promote disrespect. You know what I mean? And that would be from me or anyone else and others. All right. So that's the prerequisite. That's the condition to be a part of this. And if you can't be a part of that, then hey, man, I don't know what to tell you other than you got to go. You know, each and every queen, king, God, goddess, or God, brother, sister that come in here, man, they need to be not just offered respect, but they have to be given that. We have to look at each other in a different light, man. We have to get beyond what we've been indoctrinated with when it comes to one another. You know, we're quick to disrespect each other. You know, and I'm guilty of that as well. All right, but I'm saying not just to myself, but to each and every one of you as well. This get down, man. This get down is about love and respect. All right, it's about our unity, man, our dignity. You know, how we carry ourselves, man. Not just on this podcast, man, but shit outside of it. In our everyday lives with our family, man, with those outside the family, you know, when we're out in society. But here, man, this is that space, man, where we come, man, and we gelling with brothers, you know, and sisters, you know, we connecting, we're bonding, you know. What's first and foremost is the issue of love and respect, all right? Period, point blank, you know. Now, I'm saying all that to say, you know, we've had this concern before, a couple of times before. We can't do this. We can't do this, man. We're going to come into this thing, man, like people, like a unit, or we ain't. Or we aren't, you know. For any individual that feel like, man, fuck all that, man, da-da-da-da, all right, man, go on about your business, you know. But I'm saying to those individuals and everybody else, hey, man, this is where we come, man, to, you know, chop it up, man, with our brothers and sisters, you know. This is where we come, where we can agree to disagree, as long as it's respectful. We come here, man, ain't no ninjas in here, man. You know, ain't no bees up in here. Ain't none of that. Now, by the same token, we have to offer respect to each and every individual that come up in this get down, man. Be they a Christian, be they a Muslim, be they a Judean, be they a Buddhist, be they an atheist, agnostic, or just spiritual. Respect, man, it has to be given. That's the format, bro. It's always been that way. When I started this podcast, I let a lot of the G's know. Like, hey, man, you know, we don't do that here, man. You know? That's always been that, you know? And for whatever reason, you know, we get comfortable with our people. You know what they say, familiarity breeds contempt. We got to be mindful of that shit, man. We have to allow our familiarity with one another to grow in such a way where we're not even being contemptuous about one another or what our beliefs are, you know, what we represent, you know, how we go about our day. We come in here, man, to talk amongst adults, brothers and sisters. That's it, that's all, you know. That's it, that's all, you know. So I'm saying that to say, you know, I have to be the example first and foremost. So I was guilty of some shit, you know, last night that shouldn't have went the way it went. I sent my apologies out to that individual, man, and you know, we're not gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna holler at the brother, man. Hey, man, you know, boom, good brothers, man. We have to represent that man in every aspect of our get out, man. You know what I'm saying? We have to. If we don't, that means then we're lacking. We don't just talk to talk. We got to walk to walk, especially when it comes to us. All right? So I'm going to say that, man, in that respect, and I'm going to move on. You know what I mean? Later in this get, I'm pretty sure, man, you know, I'm going to touch bases. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. That's what we do. But we do it respectfully. We think about our brothers and sisters in such a way that we, you know what, I'm not trying to offend my brother, even if I don't agree with him or her. I don't want to defend my brother. I don't want to, offend my brother or my sister. I want to protect them, let them know that their support regardless. We ain't got to see eye to eye. We're not going to see eye to eye on everything, y'all. That's just a fact, you know. So that being said, I'm going to move on, man, and let's get into this thing that we do every Monday through Friday. All right, 6:15 to whenever, you know, I get that. Hey, it's time to, you know, cut a short, you know, acknowledgement or, you know, text. All right. That being said, again, man, I want to apologize to the RGC. Anybody who was offended, you know, that won't happen again. My word on that. All right. Now, other than that, again, you know, what do it do, people? It's Wednesday. Wasn't as hot as day, you know. It wasn't as hot today as it was yesterday. Whew. It's heat, man. This heat is something else, you know. But that being said, man, I appreciate the fact that I'm here. I'm going to appreciate each and every one of you coming here, man, and chop it up like we do, all right? That's just what it is, all right? Straight up. So let's move on, man. Let's move on. And again, we deal with those issues we're supposed to deal with. That's just where it's supposed to be, all right? We be accountable. We be responsible. We're adults. We are adults. All right, that being said, let's move on, man. I got some clips, man. I got some shit lined up. So the last couple of days, we were talking about our young brothers and sisters and this mentality that they have. And this mentality, we have to acknowledge this, is based upon the street shit they're hearing from wherever they're hearing it from. It could be in the house. It could be in the streets. It could be on social media. It could be amongst each other, their peers. The fact of the matter is, man, it's all it's BS. The street shit is BS. It's a trap. So we've been talking about that for the last couple of days. It's a trap for a reason. Again, man, this shit is manufactured, man. You know, we can say we won't. Those who don't agree or not on board with what we talk about for the most part, it'll catch up with you. You know, it'll catch up with you. And how we say it here is that hopefully it'll catch up with you before those reservations catch up with your ass. You know, that's the push. That's the hope that we get to you before it does. You know what I mean? And that it is those reservations, be it prison or the graveyard. All right. But I got some stuff, man, lined up for us, man. It's just gonna give us a little more insight, a little more context into what's really going on and why it's happening. You know, it's that thing, man. You know, it might be just that, just enough of a joke, kind of spark someone's, intellect, wake them up a little bit, So I got that shit lined up. I'm going to drop the first one first. Before I do, I don't want to get caught up with these comments because I'm always being told you be behind. You be talking about some stuff, then we own some more stuff. Okay, well, we're going to regulate this thing, man. But I love the fact that each and every one of you can come in here and say what it is that's on your mind. Put it in the comments. And this is why I read damn near every comment. Because something might be on someone's mind and they want to get it out. So I don't want to disregard it. I don't want to be neglectful, you know what I'm saying? So, because that might be something serious to them. That's why I do what I do. That being said, let's get up in here, man. All right? Straight up. All right, Poke, I see you, loved one. Peace and prosperity to you and the fam, bro. You already know. Say what up, bud. Much respect and love to all involved. I love showing up for the people, the black folk here on UTG. You created a great thing. Focus on the focus. We have to be more about pulling each other, towards the middle because we all have different backgrounds. But it is what we have in common that resides in the core. All right? Let's get it. Let's touch bases. Love to the kings and queens in the RGC. Man, real spit, Poke. Appreciate you, man. Like I said, man, always appreciate you. Love and respect, bro. Real spit. All right? Straight up. Lisa Moore in the house. I'm going to give her first, man. Ladies first, man. Our queens first, man. Always. And literally as well as figuratively. Our queens are first, man. Anyway, Grand Rising. Lisa Moore said, Grand Rising, beautiful family. Blessings to you, Brother Bub. Peace and love to everyone. B1 is black first. That's what it means for those who don't know. All right? Peace and love, Brother Pope Mitchell. She's sending them shots out, man. That's what our queens do. All right. Queen Nzinga in the house. Happy day. Happy day, kings and queens of the Royal Group congregation. We are halfway there. This is hump day. This is hump day. Wednesday's wellness, man. We're almost over the hump, all right? Anyway, she said, take a deep breath, reset your focus, and give yourself credit for everything you have handled so far. Yeah, don't take it for granted, man. Don't take it for granted. Pay homage to the moves you made, Recognize, man, how far you come, where you are from where you started. That's some real spit, man. Our queen's always in the house with some solid shit, man. Appreciate it. Real spit. Real spit. Lisa Moore say, hey, Queen Nzinga, blessings to you, sister. B1. B60, what's happening, man? Shit. What it do, bro? Say greetings, salutations to you, Bub, and the RGC Black first. Right back to you, man. Peace, prosperity, you and the fam. Again, man, you already know, bro. You already know. And start dropping them gems up in here, man. You got pockets full of that shit, man. Spread the wealth. And I don't mean the money, y'all. I'm never talking about the money. Appreciate you, bro. All right, Tantrum, what it do, man? You say, what it do, bub? What it do, man? Everything is everything, bro. How you do today? How you do today, man? Huh? For real, for real. Shit, talk to us, man. It's all good. Lisa sending hers back out to B60, man. Good to see B1 Black first. B6 say, shout out, man, Lisa Moore. Man, I was driving yesterday and didn't see your message until Bub read it last night. It's all good, man. Better late than never, as they say. See, now you in the know. So since you won, man, straight up one, man, that's all love. Love and respect. All right, I got this, man. I want to go into this because, like I said, man, when we're talking to our brothers and sisters, especially the younger generations, man, I think we leave a lot to be desired, you know what I mean, in terms of where they can comprehend, grasp, you know, take hold of what we're talking about and see, you know, find out whether or not only does it resonate with them, but is it something that they can inculcate, you know, imbibe, you know, put inside them, man, and you know, go along that get down with that inside them. You know what I mean? We leave a lot to be desired, man. That go for each and every one of us when we're talking about our people. You know, we always go halfway. We know very rarely, you know, seldomly we go the whole distance with our people. You know, we go the whole distance with others before we do our people. That's a mistake. That's bad business. You know, so when I'm talking about the youth, man, our young brothers and sisters, I'd love to go the whole way. You know, give it to them, man, in such a way that, you know, we didn't receive it. You know, we didn't have this benefit, you know, that social media actually provides. Those of us who want to send a message, want to share some realness, you know what I mean, some positivity, some love and respect to our brothers. We didn't have this back in the day. You know, so I'm saying that to say, man, there's a whole lot more we can be doing, a whole lot more we can be discussing. I'd like to get into that. So, yeah, it's more than just saying to our young brothers and sisters, hey, man, y'all out there doing this, that, and the third, A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. All you're doing is lining yourself up for them reservations that are already set in place and waiting for you guys. You know, you're in reservation, you go to the desk, you check in. You know, and in most cases, you don't check out. Not, you know, especially with these two reservations, prison and the cemetery. But it's more than that. We need to get them to understand why these reservations exist. Why they're in place, man. Why are they there? So we say it often enough, but we don't know if we're being heard. This shit is manufactured, man, period, point blank. All right? Those reservations are in place. They were put there way before you even got in the game. The GANG, GAME. Way before y'all did. Way before we did. You know what I mean? This shit is manufactured. And it's done for a reason. There's something about us, man, they need us not to ever know. This is why we see what we see. This is why a lot of what is going on around us occurs. These are distractions, man. Diversions and all this shit, man. These are traps. You know? They exist for a reason. So I did a little, you know, research today, and I said, okay, man, this is what we need to start telling our young brothers and sisters. I was going into it last night. I was saying, hey, man, all you young kings and queens, y'all don't even know y'all power plants. You're like mini nuclear power plants. Your energy is just abound. It's there. It's actually there, but it's there for a reason. You know, and for the most part, most of us don't understand what that purpose is for, what that energy there is for. That's the truth. Even us adults, probably, you know, same number of adults is the same number of youth don't realize what that power is there for, why we exist, why we've been sanctioned, blessed, kissed with the God gene. All right, I don't know no other way to put it. So that's why I put it that way. But I did my research and I found some stuff, man. I found literature, you know, that speaks to what the situation really is. You know, why it is what it is. See, we tend to think that slavery and all that, man, is the whole issue. And it's not. It's just some of it. This shit, man, it's been in their knowledge for a long time when it comes to us. The fact of the matter is it hasn't been in ours. And the coldest part about that is it's already in us. We just haven't figured out how to trigger it, or activate it. You know what I mean? That's the truth. So I got something for you. Let's drop this thing up in here, man. I see you up in here, Chris. What it do, loved one? Lisa Morris said, no problem. Much love, bro. B60. What up with it, Chris? Said, man, hey, I'm up, man, in the I'm up in the Under the Groove system. Appreciate you being in this flow, bro. Always. Real spit. Let's drop this clip, man, because I think it's relevant. And like I say, man, it pretty much goes to most of everything we discuss, you know, straight up. But again, you know, we missing a whole lot. There's a lot left out, and we have to get to the point where we start sharing what that is, so our young brothers and sisters and our older brothers and sisters, kings and queens, can get the gist of what's really, you know, happening. All right. So check this out.
If you need to lock in when I read this shit. If you white, you can stay, but don't be staying just to start shit. We'll jump your ass. The black man and woman.
Hold on. The title is "The Black Race Are the Extraterrestrials." The black race are the extraterrestrials. All right. That's the title of this shit. So pay attention.
Have in their DNA the ability to understand the seen and unseen. We have the capabilities to go outside of ourselves to a place where religion teaches you that you can only go if you are good. We are the extraterrestrials. What is an extraterrestrial? Well, we would have to use etymology in order to break this down into its proper meaning.
Etymology, man. So she's talking about using words. What do words really mean? You know, a lot of us, we take them for granted. A lot of words we use are spells, man. They're not really good for us. They're detrimental to us. You know, they hold us back. You know, they're curses. You know, so she on some more shit. But check it out.
Meaning extra means you have something more than something or someone. And terrestrial is one who is the inhabitant of where they geographically live, and we are presently on Earth. Therefore, an extraterrestrial would be one who lives somewhere obtaining extra abilities or knowledge and wisdom that is superior than most people that are in that geographical area.
Now listen, what they teach us about extraterrestrials. Come on, man. They teach us this shit in school. They identify extraterrestrials as people that's not of this world. They come from the galaxy, you know, the universe, outer space. They tell us it ain't us. Extraterrestrial. Extra, having something more than others. You know, having something in abundance, more than what, you know, the number is for, you know, anything else. I got extra, you know. We have extra, whatever it is, more than anyone else. Terrestrial. That is an individual who is on this globe, this land, this world. Terrestrial. They led us to believe they're talking about aliens, you know? And I can almost kind of understand where they getting this concept with aliens, extraterrestrials populated the earth and da-da-da-da-da. We hear these stories, right? It's trickery, man. All the word game.
Because we have in us an element that white people are putting into pills, which you know as melanin. Keep them balanced with nature because they are not natural beings. They are processed people by a way of element scientific experiment called genetic engineering. I didn't write that shit, white people. I ain't never say y'all was created. I always wonder where y'all came from, but I never said that shit. They said that shit. The melanin is produced in the pineal gland, which is also referred to as the third eye.
What do we know about the pineal gland, the third eye? That's our connection. That's our connection. That's another one of our connections. I think the spirit and soul is one, but the third eye, the all-seeing eye, the one that we see on the dollar bill, that's us, man. They're taking our shit, and they're using it against us.
Once the sun touches this substance, it responds back to us in a way that forces the sun to give us energy, and it keeps every cell in our body in a cosmic rhythm of 360 degrees of communication with other planets and things in nature. This is what makes us phototrophic people, because we convert sunlight into energy. Like
we are energy. We're many power plants, nuclear power plants, man, you know. We were talking last night about our connection with nature. We're so far removed from that shit, man. Why is that? How did that happen? How did it happen, and why did it happen? Why are we no longer connected with nature? I'm just saying.
Like a motherfucking tree would, nigga. Brown skin, You know I love your brown skin. White people are heterotrophic people, meaning that they cannot convert sunlight into energy due to the lack of this special type of melanin. They are more healthier in dark, damp areas, and this is also why they have to put on sunblock to block out the radiance of the information that only those with souls can retain or observe. Now I know white people got souls. Do not do them like that.
But she crazy. But listen, man. So when we're talking about this shit, we say, man, we have to acknowledge this process that's in place, that's orchestrated by white supremacy. All right, they have us chained psychologically. They have us chained physically, whether we want to acknowledge it or not. They're they're attempting to chain us now spiritually, our connection with everything that is. And when I say that, I mean whatever it is, man, we're connected to that. However it is, how it came about, that's our connection. They're trying to tap into that. They're trying to tap into it, And they're figuring out, man, that, that synthetic melanin, it don't work. It don't work. It doesn't protect them from that source up there, right? They got pills now. They even have injections. We were just talking last night about how, or what the lengths they'll go to attain this shit. And I said, damn, all this time they've been trying to figure that out. Have they devised a plan yet where they can extract melanin from us? I think so. I don't know if it's through some type of intravenous thing or whether, needles, whatever, or it's through the pineal gland. But I'm pretty sure, man, they got scientists on this shit. Because they don't have what we have. We got some extra shit, man. And we are the people of the earth. We populated this mug, right?
Yeah, white people ain't even got no goddamn soul. White people got a damn soul. They better. Don't beat their ass. We are all spiritual beings with elements that are pre-encoded within our DNA. But we live on Earth, a third dimensional realm, which is ran by soulless beings. These soulless beings are known as Caucasians or the white race. These people are a hybrid species. They have and I don't know what the fuck next page is. I don't even know where they was finna go with that shit, but y'all, how do I keep finding shit like this? I just stumbled across this and I read it and I said, well, what the fuck is this? Yeah, drop in the comments what y'all think about this shit. Hey.
Okay, so listen, what she dropped, man, was knowledge, man. This is what we do. We hand off the gems, we hand them to our people. We don't drop them. We hand them off to them. All right? You drop them on the ground, sometimes people might miss it. They might walk right by. They might even notice down there, But when you hand it to them, that's something different. It's in their hand. It's in their possession. So anyway, Soul Rebel said the book, for those who know, and for those who don't, the book is called The Metaphysical Sciences of the Black Gods. All right? Y'all go check that out, man, if you see fit. If you see fit. But now, how does this connect with what we've been talking about lately, especially in terms of our youth? Our future. How does that connect? Anybody? How does that connect? How does what she's talking about connects with what we see taking place in our communities and with our people? All right? We had that discussion. Let's have that discussion. All right, Poke, I see you, man. You said, man, I'm at work, but I'm still moving right along. I got y'all in my ear, fam. All love, bro. All right, there's that. I got another one. What? Yeah, let's stick to the question. How does that work? In terms of what we see taking place today with our youth, man, our people, we can't just keep pointing the finger at our youth because we got some grown-ass folk acting just as ignorant or foolish, right? Let's be 100. How does that work? Or why is it like that? Recalling what she just talked about. Just recall what she just talked about. How a lot of us carry on is necessary so that we don't reach that stage where we understand some things about our genetic makeup, what our abilities really are, what we're connected to, and how that provides the energy we need to be all we can be. Just think about it. So we see what we see occurring. Our youth and our adults, they get involved in this shit like they, man, ain't got no sense. Just ignorant as all get out. Right? Why is that? How did that occur? We talk about this stuff all the time, the system and how it puts stuff in front of us, how it distracts us, how it diverts us, how it limits us, how it educates us, how it indoctrinates us, All that is a part of this process. And that process is all about not getting to what she was just talking about. Because once we reach that spot, yeah, man, we are extraterrestrials. Who can stop us? Who can stop us? Who can stop us once we're connected to the source? Nobody. Why is that important, though? Preventing us from connecting to the source, to that thing that sustains us, that energizes us, that keeps us going. We talk about resilience so much. A lot of us don't even understand where that comes from. That's the source. They know better than we do. I'm just trying to connect the dots here, man. Let's see if we can get there, all right? Let's see if we can get there, man. Chris said, man, we've been brainwashed. We've been programmed. The whole point. She said etymology. So now she's talking about words. In fact, not just words, but what they really mean. You know what I mean? Extra. She said that. She laid it out. Even in our state, we got so much more than everybody else, man. It's ridiculous. That's the extra. You know what I mean? The terrestrial. Man, we up this shit. In fact, it's only populated because of us. We are the first terrestrials on this get down. There are a lot of people, or there are some people who know that better than us, that we are the extraterrestrials. And their design is all about keeping that from us, man. They do not need us to know this shit, man, because once we come into the know, once that thing is triggered and or activated, game over. We shoot dice, man, boom, hit that number, point seen, money gone. That's what they realize. We make that connection, point seen, money gone. They lose. I'm just trying to connect the dots, man. I'm hoping everybody keep up, man. Keep up. Oh, Soul with the cold stroke. What's up, loved one? All right. Always good. He said, if I was Caucasian, I would do everything in my power to prevent black people from knowing that truth. That's what they're doing. Everything in their power to keep us from coming into the know. To prevent us from realizing we are extraterrestrials. Yeah, hey, man, I'm just saying, man, let's connect the dots. When we talking to our young brothers and sisters, man, when we talking to our brothers and sisters, we have to do more than just talk that talk to them. We got to give them something, man, to latch on to. Because they hear this shit we talk every day, all day. But they're not getting that shit that really resonates with their core, with that pineal gland. That's what they're missing, man. That's what we're falling short of handing to our people. Not just an understanding, but an acceptance of who the fuck we are, man. Who they are, you know? This is where the problem comes in at. We were just talking about this last night, man. We were saying, hey, man, it should be our obligation. Each one teach one, each one reach one. Steel sharpens steel, y'all. Ain't no lie. That ain't no lie. That's our obligation, to sharpen one another, to reach each other, to empower us. And we can only do that, man, if we start communicating, you know, those things that are left unsaid. All day long, man, we talk about this street shit. We talk about a bag. We talk about, you know, shit that makes no difference, makes no sense. Shit that's not even beneficial to us as a people, to our future. We have these discussions all day, every day. We're hitting the blunt, passing that, taking a sip, and we talking that talk. But we're not really delivering them gems. We're not really handing that shit off, man, in such a way. Like, hey, man, again, we handed it to them. And in most cases, people, when they get some of wealth, especially when they know it's worth something, they put it in their pocket. They store it away. You know? It becomes something useful, something, you know, something valuable for a rainy day or another day. It becomes something that, hey, man, it's worth sharing. We're not doing that shit, man. We're not doing that. That's the problem. That's the problem. Appreciate that, old soul. All right, MIH, he say, man, what's grooving, family? Blackness. Us. The people, man. Waking up the people, man. Good to see you up in here, though. You say, real talk, man, each one teach one. Steel sharpens steel. The issue is finding those with the open mind and understanding to even handle the dialogue that matter in the matter. Yeah, you know. And I think, too, sometimes, man, when we have, or we want to have these conversations with our brothers and sisters, our queens and kings, gods and goddesses, sometimes, man, we might have to just, you know, not partake in a lot of shit that would make the conversation seem just extra. You know what I mean? I had no blunt, man, to speak truth to power. We really don't. We don't have to have a drink or whatever else we indulge in when we want to be serious. You know? We don't have to have that shit, man. And I think as a result, it sometimes, you know, it messes up the message. Sometimes we go in, you know, we can talk about some shit, you know, you know, you're like, hey, man, you done fucked up my high, man. What the hell you talking about? You know what I mean? Because he done went off course, you know, or she done went off course. But yeah, you know, I hope y'all get that. Oh, so said, what was the situation that woke you up to the truth that streets was bullshit? I found myself sitting in prison, homie, with a life sentence. And as a result, I also realized that everybody that was pumping me up when I was out there putting in the work or whatever, man, the majority were gone. They were gone. All right? And I learned that before cell phones came into the prison. I was maybe 5 years into the sentence. Collect calls were not accepted. Numbers were changed. I was being bullshitted left and right. Man, what's happening, homie? Damn, I'm trying to get. Oh, yeah, I got you. Don't trip, man. I'll take care of that day. Week go by, call back. Number changed. A lot of little things started occurring that made me start to think, damn, man, I've been played. I've been played. But the coldest part about that whole get down was I still, in my own way, stayed true to the shit. You know what I mean? I still stayed true to it in spite of what I was learning, what I came to know about the fact that, man, there's no loyalty and real love in that street shit, bro. You know, I came to know that, I realized even with the shit I was doing, making a name for myself, I was expendable. I was expendable. I came to learn that people were telling people on the streets who loved me, "You wasting your time. He ain't never getting out. Holla at me." You know, "Oh, fuck him. He ain't getting out." You know, that was coming from those who, when I pull up, they leave. You know what I mean? I was on a whole different page then. I get it. But glad to see me where I was. A life sentence, man, got me to that point, bro. Straight up. I'm sitting there, man. I'm getting letters from my mama. She's not feeling good. She's not this, and you know, my mama was a hard ass, but I love my mama. I was a mama's boy in the realest way. You know what I mean? I love my mama. But here I am reading her letters, and I'm reading how she's going through it in health, you know, physically, financially, you know. And I'm in here, man. Can't even protect my mama. I can't even help my mama. That shit hit hard. That shit hit hard, bro. And that's what I'm telling cats, man. It ain't even gonna take 5 years nowadays for that shit to hit you. This was in the 90s. We in 2026. This shit gonna hit you brothers in a year or two. Shit has accelerated. That's the system now. They're in a hurry to wreck everything, to hurt us. So sitting in there is gonna come a lot quicker than it came for a lot of us who did time back in the day. But that's what changed a lot for me. That's what woke me up. That I'd done all that, man. And wasn't no loyalty. You know? I don't lie, man. I tell loved ones, when I'm on this get down, there's certain loved ones didn't leave me. Them my bros. I mean, my fucking blood brothers, man. Brothers from a different mother. Them my bros. And I'll leave that at that. Let that, what I said, carry the weight of what I fucking mean. Ain't a lot, man. I can't even count them on one hand. That's what changed it for me, man. Sitting in that reservation that I had made, or was set up for me. I ain't know, you know what I mean? But, you know, I went along with the script, man, and found that reservation was waiting on me. Sitting in that, you know, heartbreak hotel, man, learning that love, that shit, streets are false, bro. It's false. Ain't none of that shit worth it, bro. I'm sitting up in there, man. I can't do nothing. Damn, for myself, you know what I mean? There were hustles, you know, but I couldn't do nothing for my family. I had children, man. I recall getting letters like, "How could you? Why would you give us up for that?" You know? Yeah, that life sentence, man, brought me, it shocked me back into the present, bro. That's what that did for me. Straight up. And so this is why I say to cats, man, and sisters, my brothers and sisters, I don't care what your age, man. Hey, man, this some bullshit, man. This some bullshit. And for everything I went through and others just like me, I ain't on no island, homie. There are millions of us. Not the millions done life sentences, but no, there are millions of us who know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm speaking the same shit they speaking if they real about this shit. There are millions of us, man, who realize, man, damn, fucking, they tricked me. Or I fell for the okie doke. Real spit. Real spit, man. You know? So I do what I do, man, to try to, hey, bro, look, trust me, man. It sound good. That shit is a trap, man. You lose everything. Everything. That's what did it for me. I can't speak for no one else, but I'm pretty sure there are hundreds of thousands, maybe millions, who can understand and relate in terms of what the fuck I'm talking about. This shit is some BS, y'all. They got us in some shit. We fell into some shit willingly, in most cases. We fell into some shit, man, that just destroyed everything. You know? Destroyed everything. So, straight up, man. Straight up. That ain't no crap. That ain't no cat. I'm telling you. Too many brothers know exactly, and sisters know exactly what I'm saying. Shit ain't cool. This is why you see, when you see them brothers that did stretches, and I mean to tell you, man, there's nothing to glorify about prison, period. I tell very few stories about prison. There's nothing to glorify. But there are brothers and sisters who had one shot at it, and that was enough. There were brothers and sisters who done a decade or better, and that was enough. They never looked back to that penitentiary gate or thought about the inside of it. Nah, man. They learned. This may be the reason why a lot of our brothers and sisters who've been through this shit, who helped start this bullshit that our people got up in, won't come back. They remember that shit. And that's trauma. That's trauma they're trying to avoid having to deal with. Talk about. Share. Those are experiences, man, that I'm telling you, man, a lot of people, men and women, I don't know, man, I'm willing to say when that time comes to leave this earth, there'll be a thought or two of that experience. That's how traumatic that shit is. And again, especially for those who figured it out early on or later on. They gonna never forget that shit, man. That shit ain't cool like they portraying that shit. Cats get on social media and tell these war stories and, all this bullshit. That shit is degrading, man. It's degenerate. Nothing beneficial about it. And rather than tell these jailhouse, these prison stories, you need to be telling these brothers and sisters how to avoid that shit. And don't just tell it to them once. Do a whole series on that shit. Do a month, do a week on it. Same way these dudes be putting out this bullshit about these streets, these prison stories. So-and-so stabbed, whoop whoop. It was a bloodbath. And, man. Share with a man how to avoid that shit. How to miss prison altogether. Because there is a way. I'm just saying. Yeah, man, that was it for me. And I know there are brothers and sisters just like me who were in there and they lost loved ones and was helpless. Broke them damn near. I'm speaking from experience. Nothing you can do. Sit there and ask yourself, man, damn, man, I ain't supposed to be here. If I was there, A, B, and C, 1, 2, or 3 could have occurred. Gave my life for him or her, whatever, He would have been with me. She would have been, It's traumatic, man. That's what I'm saying. That shit ain't nothing nice, man. And I'm telling you, I despise when our brothers get on there and want to tell prison stories all day. All day. Most of the content is about going to jail, doing time, and stabbing each other or something. How's that shit beneficial? How does that help these young minds, man, that need to be developed beyond that bullshit? How do you not see what you're actually doing is arresting the development of our people with them stories? That's what that shit did for me, homie. It made me think different. It made me think different. Before that, you couldn't have told me shit about Hoover, gang banging. I don't give a fuck who you was, respectfully. When that shit occurred, that life sentence, and didn't nobody twist my arm. That was some shit I decided to do because I had been indoctrinated with that bullshit. And it did not pay off. It did not pay off. I went for a long vacation, wasn't no vacation pay, wasn't no sick pay, there's no pension, there's nothing. Time lost. Time gone. You ain't getting that back. You ain't getting none of that back. The people who left while you sat up in there, they don't come back. You ain't get to say bye. Hey, I love you. I remember when you A, B, and C. I'll never forget it. You know, you're my best uncle. You're my best auntie. I love you, bro. I love you, sis. Hey, mom. Hey, dad. You ain't get none of that. Those weren't even options. I mean that shit, man. You know, that's what changed me, man. You know. If this shit, yeah, man, I told brothers, I did a short a couple of days ago. The only way, and I'm not even advocating this, one of us should end up in there is when we defending our women and our children or each other in the righteous sense, in the right way. In the right way. That's the only way that they should get a hold of any of us. It should never be because of what we did to one another. On some malicious shit, some street shit, gang shit for a bag. You know? A sense of being disrespected or whatever the case may be. That should not occur, man. You know? And this shit is happening for a reason. We're caught up in this shit for a reason. If we stuck on that, we will not be able to focus on this and expand, flourish, evolve. That's what prison did to me. It woke me the fuck up. Love my community. I love my community. And if they on some righteous shit, I'm there. Trust me. But this shit, I don't give a fuck about that shit, man. I don't care about none of that shit. That's all bullshit. I've been there and done that. I've been there and done that, man. You know. And go for all you hard cats. Ain't been there and done that. You don't want to go there. And you don't want to do that shit to get there. Trust me. Let that shit alone, man. You want to represent something? You want to represent the community, the set, the hood? Own that shit. Take care of it. Really treat it as though you own it. It's yours. Treat it like you would treat your car. You wax that sucker, you keep it clean, keep gas in it, running swell. You know? It ain't depreciated much because you take care of it. You know what I mean? Like a good woman. Keep her close to you. Do all that you can, man, to keep her with you. Not because you own it, because you love and respect it. You're part of that. You know what I mean? That ain't what we seeing, man. These cats ain't, come on, man. Ain't none of that. There's none of that. These young brothers and sisters, I just saw a video. One of the loved ones posted the other day on Trey Day. It had to be every bit of 15 police SUVs on the set. Got these youngsters all hemmed up, women too, cuffed, violating, I'm pretty sure, constitutional rights and everything. All that. See, the point is, they don't own nothing over there, so they got to hang out. Really, that's not illegal. That's public sidewalk. They can hang with but they don't know no better. Ain't nobody told them, man, when the police pull up, you got to, submit to body searches and present your ID and all this shit. Nobody told them that. But the worst part about it is they got nowhere to go. They don't own shit. They ain't just Hoover, homie. That's all these sets. None of them own nothing. A decent house or apartment building where they can go, man, and socialize with one another, be out of the way. That's representing, man. So you representing, when you own your shit, that's representing. You ain't claiming a mug thing. You ain't claiming nothing. Ownership is the business. Then they can't pull up on you, cheat you any old kind of way, disrespect you in front of your young queens, your mama, your daughter, your son. They can't talk to you just, because you're not out there like that, man. You out there, but you're about your business. You're about, hey, man, this is our community, man. What y'all doing over here? Problems over here. Get the fuck out of here. You ain't got to tell them we own that, and that. You ain't got to tell them shit. But that's representing, man. That's in the realest sense. But because nobody owns nothing, man, that's what they're subjected to. But they claiming shit they don't own. You can't tell me that ain't no crazy work, man. You cannot tell me that's not crazy work. Even the strip malls, where all sets got a strip mall, liquor store where they all hang at. Pull up, see a couple of homies, have a drink, boom, pull off, That traffic all day. Don't even own that shit. Bad work, man. Crazy work. So that's what it did for me, bro. Life sentence woke me up. All right, my bad. Yeah, life sentence woke me up, man. Straight up. All right. So I appreciate the question, loved one. Oh, so I really do, man. And for the most part, man, most of y'all know I try to stay away from the prison stories because, like I say, there's nothing really to glorify about that shit. I put myself in a situation, man, where I even realized, man, early on, damn, when money ran out, I went in prison with a certain mentality, man. Anyway, damn, I need to get this money together. Who can I call? That shit dawned on me quick, man, early. Like I say, man, in 5 years, man, I was in a situation like, oh shit, this ain't what I thought it was. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's what did it for me, bro. That's what did it for me. So that and all that, y'all, is a response to also asking me what was the situation that woke you up to the truth that streets was bullshit. Me catching a life sentence. That's when it hit me. I've been played. I allow myself to be played, Appreciate that question though, bro. Alonzo, what to do, man? You say peace to the RGC. I hope all is well with everyone. And you, Bub, and your family likewise, man. Peace and prosperity, man. Where you been, Zoe? Hope you good, bro. Hope you and the wife are okay, man. I am made, said, man, observing the cycles of those around me, living in chaos and turmoil, and having the discipline to stand on one's business at Old Soul with the cold stroll. Let me read that again. Observing the cycles of those around me, living in chaos and turmoil, and having the discipline to stand on one's business. That's what did it for you. I can dig it. And yeah, that is a good proposition to each and every one of you in here. Old Soul asked a quick question. And you don't have to, or it does not have to be subjected just to me. The question is, what was the situation that woke you up to the truth that the streets was bullshit? All right? And let me just suggest he's posing that to each and every one of us. Give us your story. Give us your story, people. Appreciate yours, IMH. Real spit. You're going to say, man, standing on one's own business, breaking the cycle with my own paradigm. Folks say, man, slowly, but for surely, they have separated us from the natural, taking things away from us little by little until it's lost. We go to the doctors for just about anything to get back healthy as they get deeper and deeper in our pockets. But even now, we have brothers and sisters on the corners serving us life-saving medicine with natural ingredients. Natural is another word for original. All right? I hear you, bro. All right, James, what it do, loved one? What's up with you? Let me put this in the thing, right? James, you got the email? You got the email address, bro? Let me know in the chat right quick whether or not you got the email address. If not, I want to drop it in there, and I need you to hit me with your phone number, all right? I appreciate that, bro. Good to see you up in here again tonight. Peace and prosperity to you, bro. You as well as CPT, man. Always love, man, to the Comptons and the Bomptons. You know what I mean? We blood cousins, y'all. Real spit. I'm good tonight, bro. I'm good, James. Man, just talking about, man, how do we actually get to the point where we deliver this message to our people, young as well as old, that, hey, man, this shit is a trap. And that's basically all it is. But it's a trap for a reason. A lot of us tend to say, or we'll say out loud, oh, man, it's about money. They greedy. Oh, it's bigger than that. It's way bigger than that. It's way bigger than them being greedy or being about money and or control of power. It's bigger than that. I mean, it's monstrous, man. The real reason. Yeah. But that's what we talking about. Lonzo said, man, breaking the cycle within my own paradigm. Fire. Yeah. Elevating his own get down, bro. Going outside the box. His get down. All right. All love and respect right back to you, James. Real spit. Chris said, yes, bub. People turn their backs on you when you need them the most. That's, but listen. Even in that respect, that's learned behavior. That's not something that's actually natural to us, bro. You know what I mean? Think about that shit. That's not no natural process with our people. And I don't care what they tell us, man, about how we, how we are, especially when it comes to one another. We weren't always this way. We weren't. I promise you guys, man. Growing up in the 70s, shit was hard. See, a lot of y'all probably don't remember. There was gas shortages. Man, the economy had pretty much collapsed. It was bad in the 70s. Shit was rough. Poor was poor back then. They didn't have top ramens and shit. You know what I mean? You know, sometimes you're lucky if you ate a bowl of beans, a bowl of rice, you know, some toast, you know. But back then, even when I think things were starting to shift back then, where you know we were becoming fragmented, you know, we began our it really began to loosen. But even back then, man, our people looked out for each other. And I said this before, man, when we were on the streets back in the days in the 70s, then every neighbors knew, people knew if you were hungry, if you didn't have anything to eat, if your lights were off, if your gas was off, if your water was off. You know? And as a result, the community always stepped up. Even back then, churches were different. They would visit the home, you know. Not just the preacher or the deacons, but, you know, the church mothers. That was their job, you know. That was the, you know, they took that upon themselves to do that. And they would know. And before you know it, man, you know, hey, there was food. There were, you know, things were taken care of. That's the difference, you know. It wasn't always like that. I'm saying that to say that. It wasn't always like that. So what we see occurring now amongst our people is like now it's even hard to get our people to represent one another, spend black dollars with black businesses. You can't even get half of our people to be on code, man. Because everybody got an issue with each other. But ain't nobody got no fire, no funk for these people. You know what I mean? That's some crazy work to me. It's like we look for excuses and reasons not to unite. That's learned behavior, man. We weren't always like that. If such a thing actually existed like they try to tell it to us in the history books in terms of slavery, you have to even think about when a black was getting whipped or something was going down that was degrading, that was humiliating, that was atrocious, that was brutal. Other blacks cried and felt for that individual. If that individual lived, they would work together, band together to make sure this brother, this sister survived, if possible. That's just what it was. You know, what we see happening now with our people, this is all learned behavior, man. This is not our behavior. Don't let them tell you any different. Don't let them tell you any different. You know, it's a lie. Anytime blacks rose up, man, against them, that was unity. That was one and another caring for each other. From Haiti to every slave revolt, all the way up into the revolution in the 60s and 70s, the human rights push, that was all love, man. You can go back to Black Wall Street, man, and all these other places, man. That was all love and genuine concern for each other. What we are witnessing now is learned behavior, bro. This is not our natural state. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. You know, so yeah, when we talk about this disregard now, this lack of unity and love, we're talking about an age, an era, a period where we lost it, man. Or, you know, more appropriately, we gave it up. We just gave it up. That love, that concern for, you know, I grew up in a time where black power, black love, it actually really meant something. You know? So what we're witnessing now, man, is just learned behavior, man, and it's not our natural state. That's all I'm saying. And that goes for double for what we see in the streets with our youth and our adults, our sisters who present themselves in a certain way, you know. The shit we see they do. You can't even turn on YouTube now without a sister having her biker shorts things all up in her crotch or twerking. Even some who speak positivity and growth. I'm witnessing this shit, man. I'm like, oh fuck. There's some serious shit going on. I'm just saying. All this shit is learned behavior, man. And it does us no good. Any of us. I may say, Bud, man, telling parts of my storyline. Wasn't facing no cases like that, though. And yet and still you have a story. You know? And like I said, man, there are millions of us who do. Went through some shit. And some of us, we went through, we were fortunate enough to just have to, one time was enough. Like, oh, hell no. I'm with the business, but I ain't with that business. And so we evolved the paradigm we was in. We created a paradigm outside of the paradigm. We changed shit. Like yourself, like you're expressing. That's a story to tell, bro. That's meant for the ears of some young brothers and sisters, man, who may need to hear that. That's all I'm saying. I came into this thing tonight saying, man, we have a fucking obligation to speak truth to power. And none of us should look for a reward or kudos or anything else, man, in that respect, because we're doing the business of the people. Our reward is that the people getting the message and they passing it on. You know? You say, hey, bub, that's my story. Not as drastic or, you know, as bad as yours, but that's your story, bro. And somebody can benefit from hearing about it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, huh? Sit, you know. And you say, I feel you, Big Groove. All right, bro. All love and respect. Lonzo say, man, mama the one gonna hurt the most. Always. I may say, man, shit is crazy, and they blind to chess plays. We all have been. In some cases, we all still are. They are playing chess, man. They're not playing checkers. They playing chess. That's real, man. This is what they own. That's what they own. Lonzo say, man, sitting in there thinking everything mama said was true all along. Yeah. Like, damn, I should have listened to moms, man. Damn, I should have listened to baby. She say, don't go out there. Stay home tonight. Big bro say, man, come on, come with me, man. We're going to hang out there. No, man, I'm going to. Didn't listen. You know how many stories there are like that? And some of them individuals are not here to tell it, you know? And then there are others who are here, but they on a shelf. They sitting on the shelf. Real spit, man. Old Soul say, man, much respect to you, bub. That's the story the young brothers need to hear. Real spit, bro. You pulled it out. You extracted that, man, and you did that. You were real good. Whoa. Ooh, that was smooth, homie. But, you know, all bullshit aside, man, yeah. Again, man, there's so many of us, man, who can actually share with our people. And again, they don't have to be young, man. We got a lot of our people of age, man, and they still, man, you know. But they're still in that space where if they hear the right story, they hear it enough, it could change the whole paradigm. It could change their paradigm within the paradigm. You know what I mean? It can, you know. Love you for that one, I made. I'm going to wear that out. Matter of fact, if it's all right with you, I'm writing that down. Put that on a t-shirt. Where that thing go? There you go. Breaking the cycle within my own paradigm. That's deep, bro. I'm going to do the whole sentence. 1 minute, everybody. All right, what does they say? Standing on one's own business. And breaking the cycle within my. Almost done, y'all. On paradigm. All right, there we go. Appreciate that. But yeah, man, hey man. Oh, so you know what it is, bro. And sometimes that's what's needed, man. We need to be asked the right things, man. You know, to get to the truth of the matter. You know, to get to that point where we can, you know, dispense some or, you know, share something with somebody, man, that might do them some good. So I appreciate you, bro. Real spit. Fat Rat, what it do, loved one? Fat Rat Playboy, all love and respect, homie. You know what I mean? That goes out to you as the rest of the fam, man. Extended fam as well, the PBGs. All love and respect, bro. You say peace to you in RGC, big bub, man. A kickstand epiphany. I hear you. Yeah, man. You know, yeah. Lonzo say, man, I know exactly what you're talking about. I ran with the script. Lose everything, man. I may say, man, bringing the nostalgia out. Had a homie, a young hog, breaking my crib and stole a bunch of valuables. Groove line went out the window that day. Huh. Yeah, boy, I can tell you some stories. Yeah, and again, you guys, I'm not saying nothing what I'm saying, man, to be mean, you know what I mean? Or messy. I'm saying it, man, to the point of fact, man. This is nothing, man. The shit that our people are involved in, that shit don't pay, man. In no respect, man. In no respect, it does not pay. You get nothing from it. I promise you guys. But again, most of y'all already know. There's no benefit in this shit. Again, they're not even a paycheck. You know? And then sometimes the job don't even last long, you know? You become employed with the set, the gang, the hood, and you know, you might be up in that, man, a day or a week or a month, a year. You know? Just saying. Just saying, man. Folks say, man, this some bull. I agree. Folks, you know. The shit we done been through, man, for what? For what? I mean, and just think about it, y'all. The time we done put into this shit. The sacrifices we've made. We don't even get a pension. There's no insurance policy when we go that was established by the set or the hood or the gang. You know, most of them, if you pass away, they ain't gonna contribute much to the burial. That's another fact. They'll go spend that money on t-shirts with your face on it, jeans and shit, new fits. They'll come in fresh. They'll come in fresh. When the hat was being passed around before they went and bought all that gear, they might have put $5 in it, 20. I mean, man, I'm just saying. You know? And it should never be that. You know? If it was real love and loyalty, it should never be that. If you was representing for real, and all of us, any of them, and not claiming. If you are representing in the realest sense, man, there would be no long prison sentences because there's a fund, there's a war chest for brothers who are about the business in the community. If something happened, they bail them out quick, boom. And the best of the best lawyers, shit like that. In fact, there's not even any room for any bullshitting to get out. They're not claiming, they representing the community. You know, Come time to bury a loved one, there's no hat being passed around, no fish fries or car washes, barbecue sales. Man, that money front and center, man. Johnny on the spot. The whole thing taken care of. Hey, mama so and so, that was our bro. We got it. We got it. Come on, man. Let's be 100, y'all. That's all I'm saying. Let's just be 100 about this whole get out, man. It's some bullshit. I may say, man, mama always knows. I swear they prophets. LOL, no shit, right? The intuition be on point. We just be too stuck in our egos. That's what the street did to us, you know. You know how they say, man, I recall this growing up as a kid, you know, when you start smelling, you know, poontang, you know, our nose get big. That just don't occur when, you know, we're in that stage where we want to experience sex. That also occurs when we call ourselves thinking we know these streets, or we didn't got a dose of the streets. We got a taste of it. Can't nobody tell us nothing now. Nose wide open. That'd be our mistake too. Yeah, mama, man, was a fortune teller. She was a prophet. She told you the truth. Hey, boy, this was going to happen. This is what's going to happen. You know? And that's another reason why it's a sad occurrence or a sad state of affairs, in that the fathers were removed. A lot of them not in their own, or, you know, within their own volition. You know, they didn't do this, you know. They were removed by the system. So that father couldn't grab you by the collar, hit you upside your head, man, in such a way, you know, after he let you go 5-10 minutes later, you still seeing stars. But you know damn well he ain't playing. So everything he say really matters. It means a lot. You wouldn't even think about sneaking out the window or the back door going to hang out with the homies. You got pops ain't playing with them. That's the difference. We were talking about, you know, women can't raise young boys into men. You need a man for that, you know. And though mothers tried, man, they did the very best they could with what they had to work with, man. And like I said, man, I got beatings. I mean, my mom's like, Mom, I'll kill you before I let you down the street. And she meant it. I didn't listen, though, you know. I escaped her death, her wrath, you know, run out the back door, man, be gone a week. The more I did it, the more I seen I was, you know, I was chipping away at her resolve to save my life, man. I beeped that shit. It was later. But as I was going through it, I was peeping it, you know. I mean, later I really understood, you know, what I was doing. But they in the fight, man. They in the fight with us, man, come what may. My mom's, man, shoot. My mom's, my grandma, my auntie, man, was in my auntie van, man. And they were all through the set looking for us. And didn't stop till they found me and my brother. And they found us on the fluke. We in the shack getting drunk. We come stumbling out the shack on 74th. And they just happened to be passing by, man. And my grandmama jumped out with the 22 rifle. And y'all get your ass in this van, I'm going to shoot you. That was the second time she did that, though. First time she kicked in the shack door. This was after that incident. She came kicked in the shack door. But they'll do anything for us, man. You know? And then what makes that so unbalanced or it's just uneven is that we won't do anything for them. We don't make these sacrifices for our mothers, our daughters, our wives, our brothers. We don't do that shit, man. That imbalance, man, it you know, it weighs. It's heavy, bro. It's heavy. Anyway. Lonzo say, man, they prophets, man. That's fire. They really are. IMA said, man, we got to stop celebrating self-destruction. Real spit, bro. And that's why I think that this shift is occurring. It's happening for a reason. It's happening for a reason, man. This thing is really going down. And I don't know if a lot of brothers and sisters, man, see it, as others. But, there's something occurring, man. It's actually occurring. And I just think that, man, the more we get involved in this, the more we pay attention to this shift, this paradigm shift, the more it'll be exposed to us, the more of it we'll see. Our people will become more exposed to it, will become more on code with it, That's what I think, man. Yeah, real spit. Lonzo said, man, made me pay more attention to every female action and words. I promise you I done changed a little bit, LOL. James said, man, I've been told and heard many prison stories and tales behind them walls since I was able to listen and comprehend in my early teens. It's disturbing, to say the least. Bloodbath of our own people. Yeah, I've seen them. Yeah. You're going to say, James, I don't condone nor support a bloodbath against nobody, but most definitely not no one black. If they not a brother, then then F them, especially if we need to defend ours and handle our business. Lonzo said, man, help develop a young mind. That's the business right there, bro. That's the business. That's the business. James said, man, protect each other from anyone who not black. It's how I get down. Anyone of any other persuasion is a threat, as far as I'm concerned. Just like these active streets, dudes hurting their own. It's no game. That's real, though. That's real. Lonzo said, man, James, man, Fat Rat Pope, Chris, peace to all you brothers, man. My good brothers, I hope all is well with you brothers, man. With you and yours. It's a good look right there. Same here, man. Same here, man. Peace, prosperity to each and every one of y'all, and especially our sisters, though. All right, hold on, man. I've been just, boom. I got some shit, man. Like I said, I wanted to show y'all this shit. All right, that's that one. Let's do this other one. Let me see if that's it. All right, now pay attention to this one. See, because, the one that just, where the sister was talking about the pineal gland, and all that, extraterrestrial, again, man, most these all gonna fall in line. They all gonna fall in line. So here's number 2. Check this out. All right. Look at that.
Germany, Italy, France, the U.S., they meet every 3 to 5 years and have a melanin convention.
Every 3 to 5 years, they meet to have a melanin convention.
And discuss the latest research in melanin. They have never invited a black scientist to that meeting in history. So we have had our own melanin conferences where we discuss this information involving melanin. Melanin is commonly associated with the pigment that causes your skin to be brown. So we figure that that's what melanin is about.
It says melanin is divine. Now, for y'all, those y'all who say what y'all say about me and religion, okay, I accept that. But I'm telling you what I do. I think I understand. I just don't call it and label it what you guys do. But, oh, man, that's some energy. That's some, I say all the time, man, we've been sanctioned, We've been chosen, to be the ones, the carriers of melanin. Nobody else. Nobody else was chosen.
But it's a little more than just the pigment that makes your skin brown.
That's right.
It's what we call a chemical key to life. The more melanin you have, the more civilized you are. The more melanin you have, the more psychic you are. The more melanin you have, the more information your brain can store. The more melanin you have, the faster the nerve transmissions are. The more melanin you have, the more sound you absorb in your ear, so you hear the full range of sound. No other race can do that. The more melanin you have, the more color you can absorb in your eyes. That's why your eyes are brown. You actually see the full color. That's what they have a meeting about every 3 to 5.
All right. All right. It's way more, man, than what we're being told, man. There's a reason for every bit of what we're going through, man. There's a reason for it. We don't get it, but they do. They do. We were talking last night, and I was saying, hey, man, we fucking superheroes, man. We like miniature nuclear power plants. We don't even know this shit, man. We don't even realize shit. And for the most part, let me be quite clear, I'm just picking up on a lot of this shit. Like, whoa. And I be trying to get there, man. I be trying to zone out and see if I can connect with some shit I ain't never connected with. Because I'm positive it's there somewhere. I just got to figure out how to connect, trigger it, activate it. But there ain't no doubt in my mind, man, that this shit ain't by mistake. None of it. And that even goes for the shit we going through. Just saying. Just saying, man. All right, here go one more. Yeah. I'm gonna got one more, y'all. Maybe two, depends. Check this out now. I go get them from some everybody, man, especially when they on point. Here you go. Watch this.
What do Adolf Hitler, Jeffrey Epstein, and the Rothschild dynasty have in common? The answer rewrites 20th century history and will blow your mind. You were told the dictator was a self-made monster from the gutters of Vienna. But the Epstein files dropped the receipt. In a 2018 email, Epstein reminded Ariane de Rothschild of the truth. The Epsteins, the Rothschilds, and the Gutmans funded the exact homeless shelter where Adolf lived. The Epsteins were more than financiers and bankers. They curated the Palais Epstein, the seat of power in Vienna at the time. It was later seized by the Nazis because Epstein was Jewish. So what happened was they found a starving artist and they gave him a roof. This is how the 13 families built the boogeymen they needed to reset the world. But if they supported him, why did he turn on the bankers? Because he knew who pulled the strings. Take a look back at the German propaganda that stated they were drinking blood and eating children. At first, he played along. The 1933 Havara Agreement provides details about German Zionists and Nazi Germany agreeing to move Jewish capital and populations over to Palestine. But once he was in power, he pulled the JFK move. He cut Germany off from the Rothschild debt system and created a labor-backed currency. After annexing Austria in 1938, his regime seized the Vienna Rothschild estates. Shortly after that, he jailed Baron Louis von Rothschild for over a year until a hefty ransom was paid. This is why World War became inevitable. You can't be a 13-family asset and then try to fire the owners. This war was a collection action taken by the banking cartels in order to eliminate a rogue asset who knew all their secrets. Evidence of their tactics is displayed in presidents like JFK, Abraham Lincoln, McKinley, Garfield, as well as Gaddafi, King Louis, Saddam Hussein, and many others. If you challenge the central bank, they take your life as payment and your people as interest that can never be repaid. Adolf knew that, and he became paranoid. Soon enough, he started using methamphetamine. And not too long after that, the war was over. To this day, they paint him as the ultimate face of evil, so nobody ever looks at the economic challenge to the Fed. But did he die of suicide in the bunker? Declassified FBI and CIA files show dozens of leads for a high-ranking German official spotted in the Andes Mountains in Argentina, long after 1945. On the other hand, you have modern forensic scientists looking directly at his dental records. They match his 1944 x-rays and claim he never made it out alive. Regardless, the war achieved the goals of the reset: creation of the UN, Israel, and occupation of the United States. You were trained to fear the past while sleeping through the digital dictatorship being built right before your eyes. We are at a war for the human soul. To be Ikari is to forget the lie and embrace the truth. When you stop fearing their narrative or fueling their ego, theater stops. They have the script, God has the soul. most dangerous game is over. My name is Derek. Knowledge is power.
All right. The point of me showing this get down was what he said at the end, that we're in a fight for our souls now. You know, to some point we have to concede that they have control of this. But I don't take this to be the strongest part of this vessel, this get out. They got control physically of us as well, whether we want to admit that or not. They do. The last frontier, the last thing they're trying to get a hold of, that they're trying to own, they're exploring it now. That's our souls. And for whatever reason, they are convinced, well, they know that melanin is godlike. It's something about it that they don't have, man, that we do. And they look, man, they're after that shit. And really, the only way they can get it, man, is they keep us benighted. If they keep us ignorant, distracted, divided. In due time, they'll get it. That's why we go through a whole lot of what we're going through, man. It's a reason for it. And again, man, it ain't got nothing to do with money. It don't. Nothing to do with riches. In their minds, if they can extract this, if they can get this from us, they're talking about immortality. They're trying to, ascend to a place they ain't got no place. They not even welcome. That's what they're trying to create for themselves. That's just my take on it, My take on it. Fat Rat say, man, unfortunately, it takes a controlled environment to get some of us to take inventory, pivot, and get focused. Let me confess, standing next to you, bub. Yeah, man. I'll read that again. Unfortunately, it takes a controlled environment to get some of us to take inventory, pivot, and get focused. Let me confess, standing next to you, bub, as I would with you, Fat Rat. Straight up. Straight up. James said enough is enough, man. It looked cool for as long as it did. But us who are trying to reach a higher consciousness, we know all that color stuff is gangsterism. And gangsterism is all anti-black. Again, y'all, that piece just now with the wood, excuse me, and what he just said, that needs to resonate with us, man. They're looking, they've, listen, man, let's be realistic, man. They conquered everything on this mug, man, except our souls. Except our souls. Don't believe for a minute that they've traveled into space. Don't buy that shit either. But look at it like this. If they can get hold of our souls, in their minds, I think they'll be able to journey into space. That they'll be able to connect with the cosmos. That cosmic shit. You dig? That's what I think. This shit, man, bigger than what we think, man. And again, I'm telling y'all, man, a lot of this shit is about distraction. A lot of this shit, man, is just diversion. It's fucking money, man. It ain't even about control in that respect, in that, in how we tend to talk about it. Man, this thing is about them trying to figure out how to take from us what they think they need to experience immortality. You always hear about them talking about the fountain of youth and how to keep themselves looking younger, and how the black don't crack, and da 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 da. This shit is bigger than dollars, I think. It's way more than money, man. It's way more than power in the respect or in the sense we tend to attach it to. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. What it do, Henry Sadello? Peace and blessings, everyone. Salute, Brother Bub. Hope everyone is having a good day. We are. Peace and prosperity to you and yours, bro. Good to see you hanging out with us, man. Good to see you out and about, man. That's a good look. James said, man, Alonzo Johnson, Fat Rap, Pope Mitchell podcast. I love all of you brothers. I hope you're all well and thriving. Kings and all of the Queen sisters. I send mine to the fullest. I appreciate you. Now, I'm pretty sure that's something that, you know, is appreciated being read and heard. You know what I mean? Real spit. Man, Pope, that's a lot of time, bro. Ain't nothing to sneeze at. That's 25 years, man. 26. I'm like you. I did more than a year in camp. Went from Camp Page, man. A damn, what they called it back then, a 6-week program or a 12-week program. Turned that into a 52-week program, Camp Rocky. Right as I was about to enter into the 52nd week, they 1800'd me. Sent me to Youth Authority, Fred C. Nellis. Couple of years. You know? Right as I'm about to get out of there, they sent me to YTS. You know? Just going through that shit, man. Shit, fuck, man. This some fuck shit, man. Folks say, man, 1 year in camp, 3 years in YA, 5 years in the pen, and then 17 years in the pen. I accepted the hard way with no goal in mind. The 17 taught me that the 17 taught me the most. All right, the 17 taught me the most that time there taught me, all right, the most that time there I feel saved. The time there I felt saved, all right? My grandma who raised me died while doing the 17, which hurts me today because we were close. And she did say I would get out one day. And I'm here. I hope to make her proud through my journey. Yeah. Yeah. You know, those that matter to us most, man, you know, when they're gone, you know what I mean? Damn. It's more than damn, we miss them the most. It's always, damn, I wish she could have seen this. You know? Damn, I wish I can call her right now. Little shit like that, man. Like I said, man, I was fortunate enough to make it home in time to see my mom, man. So that's a good look. You know? That's a good look. Real spit. There you go, Pope, man. I see you, man. Yeah. Henry said, man, some of us see the fire, know it will burn us, but we will still have to touch it anyway. Hard heads make us soft behind. Hey, we know that all too well, right? Yeah, we know that all too well, man. Wow. Oh, Soul said, man, I agree 1,000% with you. When I was a young soldier in the community in the 1980s, listening to the G Homies had my mind warped to look forward to going to prison, get out on swole, and dying before 25. Tell the truth, man. Tell the truth, bro. Like we were enticed, you know what I mean? Like, damn. Tell the truth, bro. James said, man, but respectfully, I do follow one brother who is known for them prison stories, and he has a very admirable oratory and storytelling talent as far as what I take from it. Stay the hell out of there, though. Yeah. I know who you're talking about. I think I know who you're talking about. I really do. Yeah. See, Fire 1011 said easy to go to prison, but the hardest thing is starting out after. It's another aspect of it. Like I say, man, we go in there, man. We go in there with these expectations about what we left in the hood, on the set, in the community, the streets. Don't pan out like that. And then we begin to learn that as we do our time. When that time is up and you're fortunate enough to have a release date, that shit come back into play, don't it? Them same homies, them ride and dies, them day ones. You see no dress outs. You know, didn't do, some of the things that you wanted them to do because you couldn't reach them before you got out. You get out. No one there to greet you, pick you up. Maybe one or two are there, man, give a few dollars, man, go buy some shoes and some jeans. Ain't no car waiting for you, help you on your way, because, you're going to need a job now. If your mind is wide right now, you got to find employment. A lot of us get out thinking, I ain't riding no bus, no metro, none of that, We get out with expectations that aren't realistic, though. No one's out there waiting with an automobile for you or a job in most cases. Where you gonna stay? Where you gonna stay? You got a woman? All right. Your mama? Can't go stay with your homie and his wife, his woman. Most of them are staying with their mamas and their woman. The real hard part starts when you released. Real spit. It's a whole new get down now, especially, like I said, if your mind is wide right and you got it together. Now the real fight starts. It begins. Now the struggle, man, is right there in your face. It's some real shit, bro. Man. See Fire, man, appreciate that comment, bro. You're going to say, man, it's easy to go to prison, but the hardest thing is staying out. Okay, you already said that. All right, James said, man, but my point, Brother Bub, is I feel maybe that is a strong lane for certain brothers because that's predominantly what they have always known. And to teach, enlighten, and educate is important, bro. You said it's fucked up, bro. It's fucked up, bro. I understand how it go. But a black man spending 90% of his existence behind walls, in concrete and steel cages, is infuriating. It's sickening. Yeah, and we also know what the result of that is. They call that institutionalization. Them type of brothers become institutionalized. I know a few. I can recall, and this wasn't long ago, maybe some years ago, I was saying some shit. I said some shit. It was straight prison shit. I'm at home, though. And my wife looked at me and said, "What'd you say?" It was something about the cell. I said, "It's in my cell. I got to go to my cell." And she, "What'd you say?" I said, "Oh, shit," But there are worse instances of that with individuals who come home and they can't adapt and or adjust to what's before them, because when they left, it was different. That's what they remember. That's what they recall. And they come home expecting that, I think. And for them, it's a disappointment. You know, your expectations have been dashed against the rocks of despair. Now you don't know what to do. This ain't what you left. You know, when you left, it wasn't none of this. And the sad thing is, man, a lot of brothers, they reflect on that, and they're true with themselves. They become true with themselves. And they acknowledge I'm going back home. We see that shit all the time. Some of them even do it in stages, vacations they call them. You know, it's just another form of being institutionalized. So, you know, in a lot of ways, you know, again, man, this shit is all bad for us as a people. Ain't no breaks and none of this shit. Ain't none. Folks say, man, let me slow down, man. I'm doing a lot of work, but I hear y'all. All right, bro. Stay focused. Focus on the focus. Fat Rat responded, I made. She said, man, just building, soldier. Peace to you and yours. There you go. There you go. Yeah. I think I got, man, one more. IMA say, Bub, man, what you think destroyed our community heavier? European religion, crack, or gangster rap? Damn, but check this out, right? They all come from the same source. They all come from the same source. You know? Think about it. They all come from the same source. You know? Each one of them, man, is, you know, just as detrimental as the other. They all do the same amount of damage. You know? You're starting here first. You know? Think about that. Same source, man. Old Soul said, man, sad to say, man, we went so hard on each other in the 80s, we lost that love. How could we harm each other with no consequences besides street justice that continued the cycle? Great point. I think we were talking about that last week, man. The generation I come from is really the culprits in this shit. And for whatever reason, man, I think I make excuses, and I think that's more because I'm guilty. You know, I have a certain guilt attached to that shit and shame. You know what I mean? We just lost it, man. We all just lost it. You know. And as a result, what we see occurring is just that's just the pattern. That's, you know, the cycle continues. This thing, you know, that what is now came from back, you know, back then, man, when we started that shit. Sad shit, man. Daily inspiration, motivation. All right, loved one. Good to see you up in here. Shout out from Texas, man, big bro. One love, right back to you. All right, everybody, y'all know what this is, man. This is On The Groove Podcast, man. Please like, share, follow, comment, and subscribe if you already haven't, man. And if you have, more power to you. Peace and prosperity. Thank you. But go and like and share this thing, y'all. You know, share it with somebody. Tell them, man, it's going to be back up, man, fresh, man, in about an hour. Go check it out. Leave some comments. Tell us what you think, you know. Read these comments, man. Read these comments. I get stuck in the comments sometimes, y'all. I ain't gonna lie, man. I'll be in the comments. Chris say, they say life is 90% mental, y'all. Poke said, when you realize that you did and believed in everything wrong, and then trying to proceed in a better way of life, it gets hard because you tend to wanting to be around people like-minded, or be around like-minded people, because sometimes it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks. But we all know that the young is always watching. My mama used to tell me, bro, I don't care where you at, what you do outside this house, you better remember somebody always watching you. My mama told me that early. Somebody's always watching you. You know? I don't even know what made her or possessed her to tell me that shit, you know? Because she had already by that time stopped me from stealing. So I wasn't good at stealing. I couldn't steal shit without getting caught, bro. You know, so I'm just trying to remember or recall why she said that. But I've never forgotten it. I've carried that with me, man, everywhere I went, man. Mindful. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, or thing that you say, oh, man, that's an ego trip or what. No. No. I look at that as being something that keeps me on point, you know? And I would use that just to do that if necessary. So it's always in my brain, man. Someone is watching you. I keep that in there so much so, man, to where if nobody's even watching me, I'm going to still carry myself a certain way. You know? I'm not even aware, you know, that someone could be watching me. I'm just now in that mindset where it's habitual to carry myself a certain way. Not even anymore because somebody could be watching me. It just became habitual. You know? You know, they say, be that same person when you're by yourself that you would be when you're around other people. You know what I mean? I'm paraphrasing there, but the gist of it is, conduct yourself a certain way when nobody is watching, as you would if somebody was watching you. You know what I mean? That's what that means. Yeah, man. I hear you, Pope, man. And I'm like this. I'm gonna tell y'all something. So, for me, I've always been kind of like not a loner, but I've always loved my own company. You know what I mean? That's not to say I don't mingle, interact with people. I do. But I have a certain tolerance for that shit. You know what I mean? I know when I've had enough being around people, I love my company. I love me. Like, I love my people too, you know what I mean? But I think for me, I learn a lot about me when I'm with me. I don't know if that makes sense, I'm one of them guys, man, that I just love my company. I love, I don't mind being around people, man, but I love the fact that I can sit by myself, man, and just, hey, and let my mind do what it do, you know what I mean? Let it go where it want to go. I'm okay with that because I think I need that, you know what I mean? I need that to help me reach certain levels and shit, so that when I'm around or when I'm with someone or whatever, man, I know exactly what it is. It's not a problem, I don't know if that's almost kind of like an introvert, but I'm not necessarily that either, so, oh shit, time is running out. Fat Rat said, man, do spirits exist without a physical counterpart? Does the spirit join the body from without, or is it evolved from within? Damn, boy, there you go. And you want to start that shit when it's time to go. Fat Rat, damn it. I needed that 30 minutes ago so I can chew on that one, work, come on, man. Golly. Do spirits exist without a physical counterpart? All right. Does the spirit join the body from without? Or is it evolved from within? I almost got the answer to that from I almost got the answer to that already. I tell you what. Or is it evolved from within? Oh, there's some more to that poke? My bad, bro. All right, because you tend to want to be around people like, all right, because you tend to wanting to be around people like-minded, because sometimes it's hard to teach older. Oh, I did read that. All right. IMH says, I think he going at that one, bro. He said, Fat Rat, I would say the spirit exists beyond the physical. It's of the ether. Look here, y'all. Y'all better quit playing. All right, so what is 10 joules, y'all? The fuck is that? I asked this last week. Nobody said anything. Henry said, man, if you really loved your friends who's passed away for a senseless cause, you would look out for the kids who lost their father. Yeah. Fat Rat said IMH, right, but what is its origin? Oh shit, you fucking with Fat Rat, man. Fat Rat said, man, it's an antecedent perspective. Now they say, I think they can't exist without each other. No? No? You don't think so? I don't know, man. I beg to differ. I beg to differ. I think that they can. And remember, if I'm quoting or saying this right, the soul exists inside this shell. And once it's time to part, the soul leaves the shell. You know what I mean? There's just this shell. The soul has departed and went wherever it's going to go, however that works. But it exists. The essence, the energy, it still exists. And even the shell, to some extent, continues to put forth energy, continues to provide. The decomposition, how it decomposes, is a form of energy at work. But the soul, it's removed in that. Yeah, I think it does exist without the body. And it may also very well be able to exist, in others in some respects. You know what I mean? When we talk about the ancestors in the DNA of each and every one of us, I don't know, if you guys would look at it as I would, but there's that connection. I'm saying, I don't know, man. I think they do. I think that the soul exists without a body. It has to. I mean, because, let it be said or let it be told, when this body ceases, the flesh, to exist, the soul continues on with whatever journey is set before it. You know what I mean? The death of this body does not end the existence of the soul. There's something more going on. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't mind, but talk to me. I may say, man, depends on who the question is asked determines the answer, most of which is based in dogma. The ancestors taught this physical life is a purgatory playground for the essence we call God to experience. Who the hell is IMH, y'all? Yeah, I like that. Continue. All right. We call God to experience itself in physical form. We are the source. What that source is, or where outside of itself, I can't say. Appreciate that, bro. I appreciate that. God damn it, who the hell are you? Uh-oh, Fat Rat said, hey, he laughed. He said, I hear you. All right, y'all, I actually have to get ready to go, man, because I got to be up early in the morning. I just got this to say, man. You know, this is what I know. All right, I see you up in there, little Travis from Acres Home, man. He say, salute, G. Texas is in the house. All right, all love and respect. Appreciate your presence. Appreciate your presence. Real spit. All right, Fat Rat, one more. He said, man, it's that part of introspection we have to seek out. Thought travels at 24 billion miles per second on average. It's moving through 14 billion neurons and an estimated 170 billion total cells. Come on, Fat Rat, finish it. Oh, shit. You ain't finished. And, all right. I have to say that I think that there's some validity to that, Fat Rat, because I'm going to tell you something. And I don't know if most of us actually trip on this. How many thoughts do you have in your mind, like right now? I promise you, man, hundreds of thoughts exist right now as I speak. It's some crazy shit. I mean, at any given moment, I have over 100 things that I'm recalling, I'm remembering, that, you know, I'm thinking of just right there. You know, I'm some crazy shit to me. And that has to be able to go at such a speed. And they're not the same. They're all different. It has to be able to move at such a speed that I can't comprehend. I bullshit as I speak is shit just flashing in my third eye. You know, I'm just seeing shit. You know, I'm thinking about, damn, crazy shit. All right, Sam Evans, I see you, man. Better late than never, loved one. Better late than never. Fat Rat gets started late, man. Oh, my God, man. Daily inspiration, motivation. Say, man, one love, y'all. I'm out, man. Appreciate your presence, bro. All love, bub. You was an asshole, but look at you now. That's what they say. And I'm going to share this bit right here. My wife say, man, back in the day, I was a piece of shit, an asshole. You know, and I said, nah. She said, oh, man, you were terrible. And I be trying to think about it, and I'm like, damn. That mean then most everybody I was around was damn near the same or worse. You know, I'm just saying, you know, but no doubt, bro, I love me today, for sure, for sure. For sure, for sure. I appreciate me. Even a lot of what I've been through, because I come to recognize, accept that a lot of that, man, without it occurring, I couldn't tell you what I just said. I you know, I can't speak to that. You know what I mean? I couldn't tell you, hey, man, that I love me. I love being here. I love my evolution. You know what I mean? I can speak to what I know. I know I appreciate what I've been through, man. A lot of it, man, was just, yeah, you know, woo. Survived it. Here I am. I'm a better person for it. Sad to say if you really think about it. But that's the truth. You know? That's my truth. Right quick, man. Fat Rat said, man, Henry Berry, Virginia House of Delegates, 1832, quote, we have destroyed every avenue through which light can enter the mind of the slave. That's what he said. Number 11, salute, bub. Right back to you. Appreciate you jumping up in here. And again, this is Under the Groove Podcast, everybody. Please like, share, follow, comment, and subscribe if you already haven't. More importantly, like and share. All right. That was deep, Fat Rat. You say, man, once my light came on where I was, could no longer defy who I was. The mind that develops thoughts defeats confinement and isolation. Ooh, doggy. What you say, Chris? Time doesn't stop for anyone. Real spit. And I say that often enough as well, bro. When you're doing time behind the walls, you're not a part of the changes the world is making and or is going through. The evolution, man, is almost as if, yeah, you again, you're in a state of arrested development. This, for real. That shit's real. All right, everybody. In real spit, man. Sam MLC said, man, I've never been to prison, but most of family and friends have. And one day sit down with them, man, and ask them, just to give it to you, man, uncut. How did it affect them, if at all? What's their advice? You know what I mean? Not for you per se, but in case someone asks you, what you can tell them in terms of what we share with you about that experience. See, nothing nice, man. And it's fortunate for you and a lot of brothers and sisters, you have to go through that shit, man, to get to where you are, man. That's a good look. That's a good look. Old Soul says, the gem, a coin or token that's given during live stream for participating. All right, bro. Gotcha. All right. AMLGB is in the house again. Good to see you back in here with us. Salute right back to you, family. Listen, y'all. Well, let me read this last one from AM. We all in that life that didn't graduate from that alter ego. We all in that life that didn't graduate from that alter ego will be stuck in that alter ego until you figure it out. That's what the arrested development will do for your ass. It'll have you stuck until such a time you unarrest this thing here, man. You go to work on this thing in there, man, that core. Until then, yeah, it's gonna be a whole lot of recycled bullshit. Let me put it to you like that. I don't know no other way to put it. But for each and every one of you, man, look, continue to love yourselves, man, all right? All love in here tonight, man. Love it. Love you for it. Damn, right quick. James, you still in the house? Let me hit you with this. I need you to contact me. Go to the email and hit me up, man. Yeah. I think that's it. I be forgetting this shit, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. James, man, go up in there, man. Drop me your number, all right? Let me give you a call, bro. All right, there you go. And in fact, man, that go for any of you brothers, man, if, want to drop me a line, want to talk and holler. Brothers will tell you, we talk all the time, you know what I mean? So, I would invite that. I welcome it, all right? Now, and again, man, all love and respect, man. Continue to love yourselves, man, and this love that we seen here tonight, that shit will be handed off. It ain't shit. That love will be handed out, man, handed off, given away freely, man, to those who need it most. Take care of yourself like you've been doing, man, so that those who need it, you know how to give it to them, how to look out for them as much as you do for yourself, man. All love and respect to each and every one of you. Let's continue to focus on the focus, man, and know that power is in the people. I swear, every time I come across some stuff, man, I'd be like, damn, man, power's in the people, man. We are all energy, man. Power is in the people, all right? All love and respect, man. Each and every one of you brothers, man. Have a safe, enjoyable night, restful night, a good night with your loved ones. Hopefully I'll catch you all on tomorrow. All right? You are, you have been, and you will be under the groove, people. Let me drop this thing up in here. All love, y'all.
Count the names, count the bodies, count the victory. Cullen Hughes, Hurston writing future history. From the Apollo to the Borough to the Sphere. Where the echo of those Harlem nights still ringing clear. So when they ask what happened in those tenement flats, between the spirituals and where consciousness is at, tell them we transformed suffering to scholarship and song. Tell them we've been telling you we're brilliant all along. The Renaissance will prologue every decade since the sequel. Every black child born's continuation of the people who survived the Middle Passage, survived the Jim Crow laws and built magnificence from nothing but their vision and their flaws. That's in the sergeant, this is once a less than. Hackers, hats, and Mercedes. Please don't you, I can't stop us. Power sensitive block to the applause for polls. Need to take the talks and constantly problem when the wet just wanna build the season big. Now don't get the pause. It's just erasing up the times. Plead them walking soft the main. Make it on the fans. Turn and neck and love the durn. Suffer like a kisher. You went wrong to preaching up. I'm side as each bitch on the shit and untrue seeing vet someone that very it's on Gary Land. Be hell in heaven, you see what the Bonavir. You wait something for the marker rate to keep him from the club and saw the boards to the Sanger land is carried open slowly. Keep us looking on my mother, break it, generous, more than he and let the peasant be and every time we keep a spawn.